Hi and welcome back to softtonic.com, where today we are looking at the stupendous Axiom Verge. Now, as you can see, I've already played a bit of the game, about halfway through, but we're going to be starting a new game. One, so we don't run into too many things as regards spoilers, and two, because it gives you a better setup to what's going on. Now, this is, play on normal, a Metroidvania. If that's a term you don't understand, it basically stands for an exploration platformer in an open world. In this case, a very 8-bit 2D open world, well, 8-bit, 16-bit kind of crossover mesh-up. It's got an odd look, and as you can see there, 2005, New Mexico. It's got its tongue-in-cheek, got a very alien vibe, looks quite stylized, certainly. Now, Metroidvania, the term that this game, the genre that this game sits into, basically stands for Metroid and Castlevania, which are two seminal Nintendo and Capcom games, platformers from the NES era of gaming. And it is very much that style of game, specifically Metroid, that Axiom Verge pays homage to. Now, as you can see there, your character is starting up like, let's call it the Hadron Collider. Everything goes a bit wrong. Boom, bada boom, bada boom. Yes, we're going to skip the cutscene so we don't give everything away. But anybody that played Metroid will instantly be familiar, one, with how this looks, but two, also the kind of bleak blackness of the world. Now, it all goes very quiet here. It actually has fantastic music, and later in the games it sounds stunning. But we're going to go through the early sections here. You're Trace, this guy with the hair on the sideburns. Trace, there is a gun in the next room. You must get it. And what we're going to try and do is run through very quickly so we can see a boss. But that'll give you an idea of the way the game works. Now, maybe actually it's better if we show you from this side. So at the moment I have no guns, no weapons, no nothing. And this goo blocks my way. Oh no, what could I possibly do to get past it? I haven't played most of this game already. So using the one thing you can do at the moment, which is jump, you dash your way this way, pick up the gun. Now, again, fans of Metroid and this style of game will be familiar with the running in the wrong direction, because obviously when this genre first began, running right was the thing. Metroid encouraged you to run left, and that kind of established the fact that this was open world. Quite 2D open world, but open world. Anyway, this is the gun that she mentioned, or did I just imagine her? You didn't imagine her, Trace. Or maybe you did. This story goes in some weird directions. I must go now before he finds you. Before who finds me? What's going on? Yeah, you gotta get out of here. Something is going down, and this gooey stuff gets in your way. You can aim and lock your aim with one of the shoulder buttons there. But this game has a lot going on over the games that I mentioned before. It has many of the same mechanics, but it actually makes a lot of use of other kind of advancements in gaming. Nothing too dramatic. I mean, it doesn't. But if you look at like explosions, if you look very carefully, maybe not with this gun actually, but there's kind of a distortion effect around it. There's weapons later on that allow you to alter reality in a way that games of the era this emulates would not have been able to, and that's kind of the running theme throughout the game. It does things that games of this era wouldn't be able to, but it does them in a very intelligent way that improves the game. Now later on I'd just be able to warp through that. I can't right now. I'm going to try not to spoil too much, but obviously by virtue of talking about the game and what makes it a bit different, it's kind of unavoidable. So you gain these extra abilities, and what they do that's, I think, very clever, and of course that's down to you, is that it modernises a lot of them in ways that make the game feel fresh and not, can't get there yet, not stilted or kind of stiff, like you might expect a game of this age to. So at some point I'm going to get down through that with a drill or something. Haven't yet. So yeah, you things like the lock to aim, which even works when you're jumping. I can push in any direction and then aim that way. You get there's a map that automatically fills in, which, believe it or not, wasn't in the earlier games of this kind of genre. However, while it does a lot of things intelligently and then kind of bends the rules to make the game more playable, including, I don't know if I can do this yet, the Axiom Disruptor there, that's my current gun. Later on a kind of selection wheel, that can be controlled with the right joystick. All my guns will be able to be switched between incredibly quickly on the fly, which previously in this kind of genre would have demanded that I go into menus, is that the right word? Yes, go through menus, inventory, slots, find the right thing and then go to it. Now it's all bound to that. However, it does keep some of the kind of old school sensibilities in that it won't point the way forward for you at any point. This is about discovery. It's about remembering where you've got to go and how you got where you are and the way back, which can prove frustrating, I found, because much like Metroid, and I am going to keep using that as a point of reference because they are so similar in terms of look, at least. They... Sorry, I'm getting distracted by shooting things. Like Metroid, you will miss the tiny holes and paths forward that perhaps are vital to make your way through the game, and because you've missed them, you think that you're in an area that you can't get past yet, and that's the problem, because it's not always a straight path forward, because there are, by the way the game is structured, you can expect to reach dead ends. You'll think you're at a dead end, double back, and then be lost somewhere else and trying something else that you will find somewhere that you think is more likely to be the way forward, but in fact isn't. So it's a weird kind of roadblock loop that you end up stuck in. And there's very few ways around that. Anyway, first additional gun. The Nova. We can select the Nova on that ordinal menu, rotational menu. And I can fire that and it can go as far as I want it to, or I can pop it whenever and it will explode like that, which allows me to shoot around corners quite fancily. But yeah, without that, without any specific and directed guidance through the game, you do find yourself sometimes stuck, basically, because you have incorrect expectations. And that's certainly, I've run into that enough times that it's been frustrating. And I'm suspecting I could have got as far as I have in the game in half the time if I had just realised that I had missed something and not been trying to make a jump that I couldn't yet make. Because they will give you things that you can almost so nearly make, and you think maybe it's in my controls, and it isn't, and then you search more. You get frustrated at what's going on. Anyway, hopefully there'll be a boss around here. Now the first boss is going to be not huge. Later bosses are massive. I think the boss is just up at the top of this, so we'll do that. But the story's very interesting as well. It gets quite deliberately vague at the start, and very, very strange things start to happen later that's kind of mind-bending and reality-twisting in a way that's really exciting. This should be the boss, and this will be the end of our quick little look here today. So this is a little boss. That's right, this is a little boss. Oh crap, I'm trapped. Demon. Oh, you can talk. Listen, I just Demon Atos say kill you. Yeah, you just have to. This guy's the most Mega Man of the bosses, and I think at times during some of these battles, it feels Mega Man Contra-y more than it does the Metroid and Castlevanias, because there really are puzzle elements to how to get through it. Now, true, this guy's pretty easy, but later chaps and chapettes require a little bit more in the way of working out the best way to beat them, cracking the puzzle, and working out your way forward. Come on. He's flashing red, he's nearly done. Come on now. Don't let me die. Yay, I was nearly dead, but I made it. Gimme. So that's it for this video. Next time we'll be back with more games for you to have a look at on Softonic. So keep an eye out for that, and we will see you next time.